All right. While we're waiting for people to join the meeting, guess I'll go over a couple of things. You may have noticed some, I wouldn't say drastic changes to Moodle, but there's been quite a few changes since yesterday. I've been working diligently. In fact, I've been putting all of my time into finishing the interactive audiobook. It's extremely time consuming to do that. It's going to take me about 10 hours to complete that interactive audiobook. But it's frustrating that the YouTube audiobook is so spread out. It's really difficult to find the audio for the chapters. And then you have to, get the digital text and try to find the YouTube video and play all that. It's too much. So I'm combining it into a Moodle activity that's designed for that. It's just that the only way to do it is to do it manually. So I'm putting all the YouTube videos, pulling them down from YouTube, and then for the audio, and then putting them into Adobe Audition and manually dividing up each chapter in Audition. Then I'm pushing that out as MP3 files and then putting it in Moodle. And I'll cover that here in a second. I'll give you guys, I'll share my screen and show you. Also, I'm still working on making our class really clean, easy to navigate. I'm installing plugins that make the navigation easier. Some people like things one way, while others like it a different way. So I've been trying to accommodate and make it so that everyone can enjoy or get the most out of Moodle. So give it a couple more minutes. Let me see if I have any people waiting in Moodle getting ready to come in. Let's check here. Looks like everyone that was in Moodle is in the live session. Got some new faces today. That's odd. I know Merrick's probably going to be coming in here. I'm just gonna check my messages here. He's a regular. Maybe he's in here and I'm just not seeing him. Nope. Okay. All right. Let's send out a text real quick. There's going to be a possible live class meeting. I'm not sure if we're going to use Zoom or Google Meet. I think Google Meet that Mrs. Markham wants to put together for all 7th grade with all teachers at the same time. The 6th grade did it, and it was pretty successful. So let me just send this out. Okay. So the other 7th grade teachers wanted to try that. I think they're shooting for Tuesday. So I'll keep you posted. If they tell me anything, I'll go ahead and relay that to you. So I guess, let me see here. I really need to make this, the settings in this thing bing when someone gets put into the waiting room. All right, well, we'll get started. Let's first go over Moodle. And our chapter today is going to be Saturday, December 2nd. I put everything in Moodle, and it looks like we will finish the novel next Wednesday. So after next Wednesday, we'll probably do a short quiz just over the entire novel so I can put a grade in. And then we're going to move to enrichment, which is all the fun stuff that I mentioned about doing. Everything from the plants and the greenhouse downstairs that you guys have seen. Yeah, he is coming in, so okay. To anything that I can find that might be really fun, interactive, and maybe be educational. Okay. So anyways, so there he is. Okay, so with that, I'll share my screen and show you some of the updates in Moodle. Hopefully, I'd like to get some feedback from you guys on it. So I'm going to share my screen. When I share my screen, I cannot see the chat. I know, I can't believe it snowed yesterday either. That's insane. So I'm sharing my screen. Give me a second here. And notes off here. Share. There we go. Okay, so you should see my screen now. And I'm just in as a student, if I'm not mistaken. This video thing is always in the way. All right, I'm not sharing my screen as a student. Let me switch my role over to student. every people think his class, and then the weekly check-in that you just have to do once a week. So that's an effort to help you guys keep organized and be able to find things a little easier. But you'll notice at the very top, the two modules that are there now have recently changed. So I included the Tangerine resources for offline download. And what that is if I use these icons up the top, the mobile app can't see them. So if you want to get the interactive audiobook, you can't get it. If you want to get the novel, you can't get it. And then as far as the live class sessions and the weekly post check-ins, they're in the daily NTI modules as it is. So I didn't worry about putting those in. Let me check here. Chat. Okay. Go to participants. I don't think I have anyone else in the waiting room. Okay. All right. I'll check the chat in just a second. I wonder if I can do it from the screen. No, won't let me see it. Well, hold on. Nope. Okay, so I'll be done here in a second, and I'll check the chat. So that's an attempt to make everything more organized. Going back to the audio book that I'm working on, this is the book here. So like I said, I'm breaking down every single audio file and tying it to the chapter. So when you open this up, it's going to tell you this is the preface, and then you've got the contents on the right-hand side. You've got chapter 1, and then chapter 2, and chapter 3. And if you go to those chapters, you can actually click play, and hopefully oh, my headphones are in. That might help. So there it is. Vicious thunderstorm hit in the late afternoon. So the audio will play, and as it plays, you can read along with the chapter. And then each chapter is in one page, so you don't have to get confused. And if you look at the very bottom, there's navigation. So when you get all the way to the bottom, you can say, okay, well, I want to read the next chapter. And then you go, oh, that's not the next chapter. I'm sorry. That's in the mobile app. The desktop app, computer app doesn't have that. But this goes from your items that are in the class module. So that's that section there, and the audiobook. Last thing is, I'm still working on this, but there's another category before you start your NTI days all the way back to NTI-Day5. And this, I'm basically putting links to all of the graded files. Everything that's graded from all NTI days I'm putting here. Because some NTI days, there's nothing to grade. So I'm putting everything in here that's going to appear in Gradebook. So if you're not sure, then you can jump in there. And I've been listing them with the NTI days. The weekly posts, well, I guess I can put in their NTI days, 10 through 15, and then you'll know where to find that down here in the actual days. So that might help. So that's just an overview on some of the updates. This is meant because I'm gonna, as I mentioned yesterday in the live class, I have a lot of students who are behind. And I'll stop sharing now and jump over to the chat. I have a lot of students who are behind, and when they go to get caught up, they're going to need the orientation video, and I'm trying to keep everything looking clean in Moodle so that they'll be able to easily find stuff. As far as the deadlines go, the paperwork deadline, the paper packets, if for students that are going to hand those in and not do things online, that deadline was yesterday. And yes, I will enter in zeros for those paper packets not completed. And the only way to make those up is to do them online. It's too much work for me to grade however many paper copies and then try to figure out if they did anything online. And all the teachers have been having issues with this. So as of yesterday, the paper copies stopped. But that's only for students who have never logged into Moodle. So we will, I will allow anyone that wants to go online and make up NTI days 5 through whatever, 20 something, 30 something, 20, 30, wherever we're at now. And they can do that until the end, almost the end of the semester. I need time to submit my grades. But other than that, every student is welcome to make things up. So that's kind of an update on everything. I plan on finishing, hopefully I can finish the audio by tomorrow. I did part 1 yesterday. I'm hoping to get part 2 done today and part 3 done tomorrow. And then that interactive audio book will be finished. You guys that are in the live sessions and keeping up with stuff, you're not going to really probably need it nor notice it, because we're set to finish the novel on Wednesday. And then probably sometime next week, I'll post the final. I'll do a short test, nothing long. I'm talking like maybe 10, 15 questions that go over the entire novel. And that'll be open for probably well into next month for people to complete. So I am going to continue to give extra credit and participation credit points for the live class sessions and the enrichment. Pretty much what we're going to be doing for enrichment are fun videos, interesting videos, and then I'll probably post a discussion with each week. So next week, if we wrap up Tangerine, we'll start the enrichment and we'll have one discussion board post per week that you guys will have to do. So it's a lot less work. And then the week after that will just be enrichment, and we can talk about it in discussion. We can come up with new ideas or fun things to do for each day's videos and whatnot. So that is the tentative plan. I will check out the chat. It looks like there's nothing, no questions in there. Okay. All right. Oh, Google Meet. Google Meet is it's what the other teachers are using for their for when they do live class sessions. I'm not sure how many are actually using it. A couple of 6th grade classes have. It's like Zoom. It's just like this, except I don't particularly like it because I can't turn people's audio and video off. It doesn't have a waiting room, and students can sometimes change their names, and yeah, it's not my cup of tea. As you know, I'm not a huge fan of Google products, other than I love their search engine as it is. Moodle is a much more powerful platform. It is fully integrated with Zoom. That's why this works so well. If you guys do prefer, I can launch you into Zoom from my Google Classroom. It works the same way as it does with Moodle. So anyway, so let's have a look at today's chapter. It's short, so our video live class, our live class session is probably not going to be that long. Today we had to read. Let me just double check here. Pull open the 416. Get down here. 416. Saturday, December 2nd. So Saturday, December 2nd. Chapter starts way at the top of the page. This was an interesting chapter. This morning, Joey calls again. He tells Paul that Betty Bright's yellow Mustang is at the Donnelly house. Paul rides his bicycle over there and finds Chandra Thomas in the passenger seat of the Mustang. Chandra tells Paul that Coach Bright and Chandra's brother, Antoine, are inside the house talking to Mr. Donnelly. Remember, Mr. Donnelly is the one who has the house that gets hit by lightning all the time, and then he put all those crazy lightning rods up so it looks funny. That's who Mr. Donnelly is. Chandra says that Antoine is upset more than usual. When the front door opens, Antoine walks to the car and tells Chandra that from now on, they will tell the truth. Betty Bright introduces Antoine and Paul. Antoine asks Paul if he is Eric's brother. When he finds out that he is, he also tells Paul that it is time to tell the truth. At first, Paul doesn't understand exactly what Antoine means, but when Antoine says something about hiding under bleachers, he knows exactly what he means. He means he's referring to Arthur hitting Lewis in the head with the blackjack, that small club. As Coach Bright, Chandra, and Antoine leave in the Mustang, Antoine tells Paul that they are on their way to tell someone else the truth now. As Mr. Donnelly pulls out of his garage, he stops and asks Paul if the coach told him what the meeting was about. And Mr. Donnelly decides not to tell him either. Everyone will find out at the same time, tomorrow morning. Later, over pizza, Paul's mom and dad tell him that they are going to have an important meeting at their house tomorrow. So Paul's like probably freaking out because he wasn't sure about telling the truth. He wants to, but that indicates that it's probably going to take place at his house tomorrow, which is probably pretty daunting. I worries if he's going to get in trouble, you know. So, you know, um, so that's today's reading. I have a feeling tomorrow's reading is going to be pretty interesting. So we're reading, I believe it's going to be the December 3rd. I don't think it's a later. Nope, it's December 3rd. Sometimes the chapters throw me off because it's like Sunday, December 2nd, Sunday, December 2nd later, and I have to always watch for that. Are there any questions about the reading today? Feel free to type in the chat, or you can hit your mute button and talk if you feel comfortable doing that. Does anyone have any questions about the reading for today? Okay, no questions so far. Let me get to everyone in the meeting. No questions. Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to tomorrow's chapter. I expect there's going to be some interesting developments. And is everyone keeping up with the reading okay? I know it's not really a lot because a lot of days the reading that we've had has only been like a half page to a page. Some other days we've had, 4 or 5, 6 pages of reading to do. So try to keep up. And is Serenity in here? She might be. Anyways, I think Serenity was asking about doing the a live class, like a Zoom meeting, just for students to hang out and catch up with each other, having been out. For those of you that haven't saw this, I'll share my screen again. There is a section in Moodle. If I go over here, if you go all the way out back to home, and I'm going to go ahead this afternoon and add everyone into the Student Commons course. There's not much in there right now because I haven't put stuff in there. But this will be like a place like where you can meet, like in between halls, at lunch. Think of it like that when we were at school face to face. Even break. It's just going to be a place for students. As long as there's nothing foul language, inappropriate stuff going on, I'll support that. So this is the Student Commons course. And if you click in here, there will appear a Zoom meeting and some other things in here once I set it up. And I can select students to be moderators. So you can have a Zoom session. Mind you, it will be recorded to the cloud. So it's very important not to be using any bad language, no bullying, no inappropriate pictures, school appropriate stuff. And then it's kind of cool because you guys can have your own meeting and come up with things or do whatever it is you guys do in the class. You can also message each other. I've mentioned this a few times about if you notice there are online users back in the main system. You can click on their name and ask to add them as a contact, and if they accept, you can message them. So it's right here is the online users block. So that's a few other interesting additions in Moodle. I'm going to stop the share so I can see if there's anything in the chat. Okay, let's see here what it says. Let's see. What are we talking about here? Do you think school will be canceled for the rest of the year? Yes. A cure should be found in 15 to 18 months. Why that long? Because it is new and yada yada. I hate shots. Yes. Okay. There's nothing tentative right now. I do personally think that we will be closed for the remainder of the year. I believe the governor is supposed to meet with superintendents on that topic early next week, so we should find out next week about that. Other than that, just the information I'm getting from the teachers in the meetings that we have every day is that right now grades is the big topic. How do we do grading? When do we have cutoffs? Can students make work up? And you know, that's why I'm redoing Moodle. I've just kind of gotten tired of all that. And I've decided that paperwork is done for the paper packets for whatever was due up till yesterday. And then the next round, whenever that due date is, then they're due. I want my work to be done online because it makes it a lot easier. It allows me to accommodate students. It allows me to interact with students. Doing the NTI work just by paper packets worked sort of when we were in class and we just had a snow day. But when we're doing full-on distance learning, it's not effective. It's not the best mode of learning. So with that said, my focus is getting everybody online. Now, if you do have friends that cannot get online, I think I have one right here. I brought the Galaxies home from the classroom, and I got Dr. Kirby's permission. I'm not sure if this thing's going to come on. It's probably dead. It's been sitting here for a while. But I used this one as a test one, and I went in and I loaded the app for Moodle, and then connected to my network. I was able to download the course, everything in Moodle. So this device, I can give this to a student that doesn't have internet, and they can do their work online. And then when it connects back to the internet, it'll upload everything that they needed to do. And that includes, they'll get the audiobook and the interactive audiobook and all of that. Now, if they can't get it to the school, I could even potentially drive my truck close to their house, and these will connect to my truck and download and upload the data. So if you have friends that you know don't have internet or are having trouble with getting internet to finish classwork, tell them to get a hold of me, to call or to email, or leave them relay a message through one of you guys, and I will see that they can get one of those Galaxies to use with a charger, and then they can do their work digitally online. And then they can also get around these hard due dates. So keep that in mind, pass that along. Let's see what we got here. Yes, the flu vaccination. Yep, I'm not sure of shots. By the way, it may take longer to find a cure. Yes. And remember, you know, you guys, I think you're probably in the lowest risk category, but you guys have to remember you are transmitters of COVID-19. So even though it may not have a real strong impact on kids your age or up to like 25 years of age, you guys can still easily transmit that to other people. And that's, you know, really scary because you have grandparents and parents and people with underlying health conditions that are very susceptible to it. And that's why I think our governor, Uncle Andy, is working so hard to, you know, keep things closed and let this get passed and all that good stuff. All right. I have my other meeting coming up here in a few minutes. Are there any questions regarding Moodle, the new Moodle layout, or the novel? Any questions? I'll give it a second and see. No questions. Okay. How do you like the new drop-down features in Moodle, so you can either keep the topics in the NTI days content closed, or you can open them? Do you guys like that? I'll give you my reaction to it here in just a second. I give it a total thumbs up. So I wasn't sure if you guys like that. Yeah, okay. And if you have suggestions, or if you notice things that are clunky for you, give you a hard time in Moodle, let me know. A lot of these things are fixable. A lot of these things can have, I can install plugins and define things. I just have to be careful because I'm now gearing Moodle up to work with the Galaxies offline. So I have to keep things pretty simple. So that's why there's some redundancy, or there's some duplication of activities and stuff in there. That's for the people that are going to be using it offline. So, well, that's good to hear. It sounds like you guys don't mind it. If there's no other questions, I think that will conclude today's meeting, and I'll get the recording up. and I will be working the rest of the afternoon on finishing that interactive audio book. If you have a last minute question, post it now or forever hold your peace. We got 8. Yes, we got 8 people. I know that's awesome. And because these are recorded, I said I would give you guys extra credit, and that's going to be extra credit for each live session you join. Tell your friends. That extra credit between now and the end of the year could very well possibly offset all of your NTI work. So, oh yeah, that could be. You might see that's Rufus. He likes to sleep. He's a sleeper. Rufy, Roof, say hi. He's a tired old basset hound. So, all right, guys. Yes, good job. That's a record for us. We had 8 people today. That's really exciting. And yes, you do get extra credit for the live sessions. It's going to be about 1 to 2 points per day, but that would equal 5 or maybe 10 points a week. And we got 6 weeks left. That's like 60 points. That's a lot. So it's definitely going to be worth your while. Now, does it mean you have to do it? No, but it's probably worth your time. So, all right. If there are no other questions, I'm going to end the meeting here in a second so I can get to my next one with the teachers. If you do have questions, message me through Moodle, post in the student help forum. It's on the front there. Email me, use Remind. All of the modes are good. So what is what? I see a question. What is it? No questions? You haven't been to all the live ones, I don't think. No, I don't think so. So I'm going to get my next meeting here going. If you have any questions, email me or post in the forum. I hope you guys have a great afternoon, and I hope to see you all tomorrow. Bye, guys.